Now at 5:30 on WKYT this morning, deputies have arrested a man in connection with a deadly hit and run in Mercer County that killed a mother. Details on the investigation ahead.
Also on WKYT, a man accused of several crimes, including the attempted murder of a police officer, is expected to be in court today. We're looking at the details in his case coming up.
And presidential candidates are gearing up for a crucial contest in Wisconsin for tomorrow. Who's leading the polls? Ahead on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, and it's so nice to have you with us on this Monday. We hope you had a great weekend. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Michelle Chamberlain, and another week of up and down weather, right, Bill?
Pretty dramatically so. It sounds like with freeze warnings in effect for tonight. Meteorologist Micah Harris is in our First Alert Weather Center. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, we're looking at that front to the north of us. That's throwing off a few light showers. In our far northern zones, that's trying to creep down toward the south, but that fades away. We'll actually get the front later on this afternoon. That'll give us those showers. Temperatures are there in the 50s. It's not a bad feel this morning. As we go through the day, we will have that rain chance on and off. And remember, it's spotty rain. Not everybody gets rain today, but if you do, it's just going to be a few light showers. We go off into the night. Look to tomorrow morning, 27 degrees. Here comes a freeze warning in effect. I'm going to go over that and show you if we have another one later on this work weekend. Obviously, the snow potential. We'll talk all about that coming up.
Yeah, and it's not an April Fool's joke. It's too late for that, right?
Bust out that winter gear again.
Yeah, there you go. Let's get to the news this morning. We have learned some new information now about a deadly hit and run in Mercer County.
Deputies have arrested Matthew Warner in connection with the fatal hit and run. WKYT's Mark Barber is at our live desk this morning with more details. Good morning, Mark.
Good morning, Michelle. Investigators did not have to go far to find Matthew Warner. They arrested him on US 127, the same highway where deputies say the 21-year-old hit a mother of 4 and left her dead in the road. Heather Lawrence was walking along US 127 early yesterday morning when a truck crashed into her. Lawrence and her husband had 4 children. The youngest is just 2 years old. Her husband is now asking for donations through a GoFundMe webpage. He says she did not have life insurance and he does not have any savings, so it will be difficult to cover her funeral expenses. Lawrence's husband of 23 years says she left their home after an argument. He tells us he went out to look for her just a short time later, but by then there was nothing he could do.
They didn't even slow down. They didn't even try to stop. There's no skid marks over there. I mean, what kind of animal does this? How can you live with yourself?
Warner is charged with tampering with physical evidence as well as leaving the scene of an accident, both felony charges. Deputies say they found the truck that he was driving because he left it behind and had a woman call investigators to report it stolen. The 21-year-old was arrested after the deputies interviewed the owner of that truck. From the live desk, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Thank you, Mark. Now, today we expect to learn more about the case against a man accused of several crimes, including the attempted murder of a police officer.
A U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force and Lexington Police arrested Drummer Dave Suarez last week during a traffic stop. He was wanted by police in several counties. WKYT's Mike Byer is live at Fayette County District Court this morning, where police will get the chance to lay out their case against Suarez later today. Mike?
Good morning, Bill. A man who faces a long list of charges, including attempted murder of a police officer, will meet face-to-face with a judge this morning. David Suarez, also known as Drummer Dave, was arrested last week in Lexington by U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force and the Lexington Police Department. Investigators were able to collect information that led them to Suarez, who was pulled over by police on Man o' War Boulevard near Clearwater Way. After the traffic stop, police found heroin, methamphetamine, a large amount of cash, and a loaded handgun on Suarez. The search for the 38-year-old stemmed from an investigation that started in December of 2015 when a search warrant was executed at his residence. There, officers found methamphetamine, heroin, pills, marijuana, and drug paraphernalia. Suarez now faces 2 counts of trafficking in methamphetamine, trafficking in heroin, 2 counts of possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of marijuana, and possession of a handgun by a convicted felon. U.S. Marshals also served Suarez with a warrant out of Jessamine County for parole violation and warrants out of Garrett County for attempted murder of a police officer, fleeing or evading police, leaving the scene of an accident, trafficking in a controlled substance, wanton endangerment, and burglary. So as you can see, this gentleman faces a long list of charges, he'll have to answer for when he walks into district court this morning. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Thank you, Mike. Lexington police are trying to figure out what caused a deadly crash on Athens-Boonesboro Road. The Fayette County coroner says a driver lost control on that road near the Clark County line last night. The crash closed the road for several hours while the collision reconstruction unit came in to investigate. The coroner pronounced one man dead at the scene who he thinks was the passenger in that car. An official cause for the crash has not been determined, but the coroner thinks a high rate of speed is to blame.
Was traveling at a fairly high rate of speed. The brush that's there, and there's gouge marks where this vehicle has flipped several different times. So it's just a misfortune that that this has happened.
The coroner has not released the name of the man killed. There's no word on if the driver of that car will face any charges. Police say that's something the reconstruction unit will decide.
2 people are dead at UK Hospital this morning after a crash on Versailles Road. Police say the 2 were trying to cross the road near Keeneland early yesterday morning when a driver hit them. Emergency crews rushed the woman to UK Hospital with life-threatening injuries. The man is also seriously hurt. We do not have their names at this time.
In Adair County, state police say they found a body in the ruins of a townhome. Troopers say there was a fire on Watson Road in Columbia Saturday. Yesterday, the owner of the home went inside and found a body. That body is now at the state medical examiner's office. Troopers do not know who the person is or how they died. In Clay County, the sheriff's office is still trying to figure out what led up to a shooting. The sheriff says someone found a man in a car on North 66 near Big Creek yesterday. State police believe someone shot that man. Crews rushed him to UK Hospital for treatment. Deputies do not know who shot him, and we do not know how he's doing this morning.
The widow of a fallen Jessamine County paramedic says an act with his name is going to be attached to it. That is a law that's been enacted. It will help a lot of families, apparently. On Friday, Governor Matt Bevin signed the John Mackey Memorial Act into law. That bill calls for families of fallen paramedics to receive $80,000 in death benefits and free tuition at state universities and community colleges. John Mackey died in November when he was working and a car hit him. At the time of his death, EMS workers killed while on duty did not receive death benefits. With this new law, all local government EMS workers and volunteers killed after November 1st of 2015 are eligible for benefits.
Standard car wreck. The police get dispatched, the fire gets dispatched, and we get dispatched. We're all standing right there together in the same place at the same time. And it's been a long time coming that they finally get recognized as doing the same things.
And the John Mackey Memorial Act goes into effect in July. I want to clarify just real quickly, the people injured in the accident on Versailles Road are still at UK Hospital, and we don't have their conditions at this point, but they apparently have survived their injuries.
Hopefully they recover quickly. Presidential candidates are gearing up for a crucial contest tomorrow in Wisconsin. And according to the latest CBS Battleground Tracker poll, the race is close on both sides.
That poll also shows that both of the front runners are trailing. Many of the candidates spent their Sunday pushing for votes, and Brian Webb is on the campaign trail.
At a campaign rally in West Allis, Wisconsin, Donald Trump said it's time for John Kasich to get out of his way.
You shouldn't be littering up the process, because that's what he's doing. It's really a disgrace, I'll tell you.
Kasich tweeted, "That's not how our republic works, Donald. We'll keep fighting until someone reaches a majority of delegates." Looking at the promise. Ted Cruz made several stops in Wisconsin Sunday, insisting he's the Republicans' best shot at winning the White House.
Nominating Donald is a gift-wrapped present to Hillary Clinton and the Democrats.
A CBS News Battleground Tracker poll shows Ted Cruz 6 points ahead of Trump in Wisconsin, with John Kasich far behind. The same poll shows Bernie Sanders 2 points ahead of Hillary Clinton. Sanders spoke to a crowd of several thousand at the University of Wisconsin-Madison.
If we do not allow the Trumps of the world to divide us up, the truth is there is nothing that we cannot accomplish.
Clinton spent the day campaigning in New York ahead of the state's April 19th primary. Brian Webb for CBS News.
And looking ahead at some of the remaining contests, polls show Donald Trump with a commanding lead in New York and Pennsylvania. Those primaries are later on this month.
Families of a Lexington native and her husband killed in Brussels say they'll make final decisions about funeral arrangements today. Family says the bodies of Stephanie and Justin Schultz are now back in the U.S. The two were among the more than 30 killed in the Belgian capital last month. Families say the bodies were at Dover Air Force Base last week and they were expected back in Lexington last night. Both families plan to meet with the funeral home today in Lexington. There's already a service planned for April 10th in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
It was a big night for country music and an even bigger night for Kentucky native Chris Stapleton. The Johnson County native walked away with 4 awards at the 51st Academy of Country Music Awards in Las Vegas. Arguably his biggest win of the night, Stapleton got the award for Male Vocalist of the Year. He was up against big names like Eric Church and Jason Aldean, but maybe Chris Stapleton is becoming a big name too. His song Nobody to Blame won Song of the Year. Stapleton also won Best Album of the Year and New Male Vocalist of the Year. So what a night it was, certainly for him.
Congratulations to him.
Really.
Great night.
Time this morning, 5:41, and let's check live drive traffic now. See what's going on out there early on your Monday, and very little really. Things are moving along fine. We have no reports of any major problems. It'll be back to school for many people, right?
This could change in about an hour or so, right?
Say, those buses will be back out there and running in Fayette County and many of the surrounding areas. So everybody keep that one in mind this morning. And it's great to have you with us bright and early on this Monday. We're back in a moment.
Yeah, there's still a lot more to come this morning.
We have those cold temperatures to talk about as we travel overnight and into tomorrow morning, along with some chances of rain. We'll talk about that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
We have a few showers to the far northern half, and now we're going to be seeing that slowly but surely drop down south. And look, this that you're seeing, this initial push, this actually falls apart here in just the next couple of hours. So you're getting some sprinkles, some light showers to the north, but that will fall apart. And then you start to get the front later on this afternoon off into the evening hours before it fades off into the evening and nighttime hours, and that's when the cold air rushes on in. Now we're talking about 50s outside. Actually doesn't feel all that bad, but we creep into the afternoon. We'll actually be right there in the low to mid 60s. It's a pretty good feel, but look at the cooler air up north. We're trying to nudge its way southbound. It's going to be 67 degrees later on this afternoon in Bell County, and then we get off into the evening. If you're heading out to eat, it should be pretty decent. Now, I will say it's chilly once the sun does set. Those winds are still pretty gusty today, anywhere from 15 to 25 miles per hour. And that's coming in now from the north and northwest. And then look at these temperatures. You're talking upper 20s, lower 30s. That's where your freeze warning comes into effect until 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. So just keep in mind, yeah, you want to bring those plants on in, cover them up, whatever it may be, as it looks like those chilly temperatures continue to drive down into the upper 20s, lower 30s. Then let's talk about what's going on later on as we travel off into mid and late week. Okay, so we get off into the work week and look toward your weekend. Okay, so Friday, here's your chance at possibly picking up a little snow. Now this right here, this is the forecast, and as of right now, looks like it's just going to be maybe a coating in some spots, okay? So just know that we do have some snow there in the forecast on Friday, which happens to be opening day of Keeneland. Off towards your weekend looks much better. We're sitting there in the 50s and 60s. So the breakdown of the 7-day forecast, rain today, 60s. Tomorrow, the freeze warning tomorrow morning, and then we rise to around 50 degrees, which will be dry tomorrow. Then Wednesday, showers and thunderstorms move on in. I mean, there's a lot to talk about in the 7-day forecast. That's going to be during midweek as another front rolls on through. And these thunderstorms, I just don't expect any severe weather out of this. This glides on through, drops our temperatures back down, upper 40s there on Thursday with some chilly showers rolling on in here. And then we're looking at another possible freeze on Friday morning, and it's all about the snow potential on Friday. As you saw from some of these particular weather models, you're not going to get a lot out of this. This isn't a big system. Remember, it's coming in from the north, not the south. Southern storms give you the big storms, and from the north, they're just little hitters that, you know, little clippers, we like to call them, because they clip you. And yeah, they're going to be bringing us some light snow to deal with on Friday.
My 4-year-old says, Now, mind you, she's 4.
Yeah.
She says, Mom, didn't that hedgehog say it was going to be spring?
Yeah.
Where's spring?
Right. Maybe we need to start going with the hedgehog.
I know, right? Maybe he's more accurate.
Might do us better, I'll tell you what.
Exactly.
It's something else, isn't it? Go on, winter. We're done,
No,
right?
we're done with you.
5:48 is the time this morning, and thank you, Mike. A young man from Louisiana is defying the odds. Seth Hanchy suffered a brain injury and was told he would likely spend his life as a vegetable in a hospital bed. But Seth is overcoming those medical obstacles to win a powerlifting competition. Look at that.
He has been working on this for 3 years, and that hard work has paid off. Seth completed in the super heavyweight class and finished and won each category. And if that wasn't enough to keep him busy, Seth is also going to college where he's majoring in massage therapy. Good for him.
Well, I guess he showed everybody, right? Yeah, congratulations. Good deal. All right, it is coming up on 5:49, bright and early here on your Monday morning.
You'll get the stories we're working on coming up on WKYT this morning.
We're also going to check traffic, see how things are moving out there this morning on this day back to school for many. And we'll have some health news and what's hot on the web as well. It's great to have you along on WKYT. Good morning. Welcome back into WKYT this morning. It's 5:52. It's early, and we're glad you're with us this morning. Hope your Monday's off to a good start. We'll make the best of it.
We will. Let's take a look at some of the stories we're working on at this hour.
We've learned some new information this morning about a deadly hit and run in Mercer County. Deputies have arrested Matthew Warner in connection with a fatal crash that killed Heather Lawrence, who was a mother of 4.
2016 presidential candidates are making their final pushes in Wisconsin in preparation for tomorrow's primary.
Republican Ted Cruz is expected to beat Donald Trump in Wisconsin. That at least would be in line with the recent polling. Democrat Bernie Sanders holds a slight lead over the Democratic frontrunner Hillary Clinton there.
Federal investigators are looking into what led to the deadly Amtrak derailment outside of Philadelphia yesterday. Officials say 2 Amtrak workers were killed and more than 30 passengers injured when the train slammed into equipment on the tracks. The train was coming from New York City on its way to Georgia. Sunday's collision comes less than a year after the deadly derailment of Amtrak 188 in Philadelphia that killed 8 people. Topping your health headlines this morning, there is new hope for patients with high cholesterol and an intolerance to cholesterol-lowering drugs.
Now, this is interesting. According to researchers at the Cleveland Clinic, the drug called evolocumab may be more effective for hard-to-treat patients, and they're doing some experiments on it right now.
And new research finds testosterone therapy may help elderly men prevent strokes, heart attacks, and even death. The study of close to 800 older males found that those taking testosterone supplements had fewer cardiovascular events. Now it's time to take a look at your traffic this morning with our live drive traffic. A lot of green out there, and as we say, green is good, but it is the first day back for kids, for a lot of kids from spring break. So this could pick up in about an hour or so. But for now, let's check in with Bill to see what's happening on the net.
Well, of course, we're keeping WKYT.com updated for you. We'll be tracking the wild weather week, including a freeze warning tonight, possible snow as we head toward Keeneland's opening on Friday. Mike is keeping us all updated on that this morning on air and online. And we've learned of an arrest overnight in the hit-and-run death of a mother of 4 in Mercer County. We'll be following up on that story today. We're also working to learn the identity this morning of a man killed in an accident along Athens-Boonesboro Road. Police are telling us speed was likely a factor in that wreck. We have also uploaded our story, including video from some Scott County High School band members who were in New York City during a scare over the weekend. Also this morning, last night, a really big one for Kentucky-born country music singer Chris Stapleton. The Paintsville native won several categories, including Male Vocalist of the Year at the Academy of Country Music Awards that aired here on WKYT. Over on Kentucky.com, basketball fans are remembering Freddie Maggard, who helped the tiny Carr Creek High School win the state championship in 1956. He hit 2 game-winning shots in the Sweet 16 in what those who remembered say was like a movie. He went on to a successful coal and energy career, retiring as an executive in that. Freddie Maggard died in Corbin at the age of 78. And CBS This Morning is coming up shortly at 7 with your eye opener. And of course, we'll have local updates as well. Hey, join us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter or Instagram, and for the latest anytime, WKYT.com.
So the front is still well to the north of us. I mean, you got to go up toward Dayton and Indianapolis. What we're seeing out ahead of this, just prefrontal stuff, and then a lot of this is definitely not very active. We're getting that just to the north of I-64, and it's very light showers, just a broken line of that, and also some sprinkles. So this won't affect your morning all that much. Just know that you could have some drops falling over your head north of Lexington, north of Mount Sterling, Winchester, and back toward Moorhead, Owingsville, Salt Lake, those areas. Look across the region, we're in the 50s. That's not a bad feel, but I will tell you this, some of these gusty winds really cranking up already, and we're going to be seeing temperatures by the afternoon there in the 60s. You saw the 30s and 40s in southeastern Kentucky, and that's where we're holding on to that chance that we'll start to see some rain pick up later on this afternoon and off into the evening for you guys there. But across the region, as we go through the day, 8 a.m., the chance is really north of 64. Then we hit a couple of showers there by noontime. And remember, this is spotty. Not everybody will see the rain today, but when you do, it's going to be very light, and it starts to move on out as we travel through the evening and nighttime hours. Then we're talking about a freeze. I'm going to have that coming up with another hour of WKYT News. We'll see you right back here at the top of the hour.